Hello, everyone. Just get this adjusted so you can see me. And Cinco de Mayo. I got my skulls, my roses. So today's class is called Tenderness. And we're going to start on the mat. So you can go ahead and take a seat. Take my socks off. And I want to get this going. So just start out an easy pose. And remember, if you're doing a pose and it doesn't agree with your body, that you can always do an alternative pose, and I will try and list or suggest one out for you to do in place of something. We're going to do fish pose, and I did fish pose earlier this week in a class, and it bothered one of the ladies' necks, so it reminded me to give you an alternative. If you can't do fish pose, you can do just a slight back bend, just to do a chest opener, because that's one of the things we want to do as a chest opener. Could even lean back just like this, or you can use a bolster. But when we get to that pose, we'll get more information. Let's go ahead and sit in our easy pose to begin with. I like to sit on a block. It takes the pressure off of my low back. So if you have any kind of low back issues, sit on a block or sit on your blanket to raise your hips above your knees. It also helps if you have knee issues. So let's go ahead and begin by just taking a nice deep breath and close your eyes. And when you get to the top, put your hands in prayer. Take a breath or two here. Do a nice deep inhale. And exhale your arms down as you gently flutter your eyes open. We're going in slow-mo. Let's do one more. Inhale up. Hands in prayer. Exhale, bringing the hands down through heart center. Okay, that just kind of gets our mindset for what our task is here today, is to make ourselves feel better and to relax. If you have any kind of anxiety or worries, this is a great class for that. Several of the poses is to help relieve stress. Well, almost all yoga poses help relieve stress, but these are geared specifically for that. So let's take our left foot, and I'm going to place my blanket so I can rest my knee up this way, just so it's a little bit more comfortable, because I do have a knee issue on this one. And I'll probably use it on the other one also, just because. And we're going to give ourselves just a gentle, tender little foot massage, which is a great way to relieve stress. I was a foot reflexologist for about 35 years. And then when COVID hit, I had to quit. And now that things are getting better, I may take it back up a little just for a few clients. I don't want to work too much because I am retired now. I love that. I'm just doing my toes, each of my toes, and then I'm going to take my fingertips and put underneath my toes and just do like I'm going to make a hook right here, which really is a great way to get into your sinus reflex, your eyes, your ears. So and this is a great time to do this because it's spring and allergies are abounding with all of the flowers blooming, although today it feels a little more like fall weather. And do that a couple of times, and then just gently I'm going to raise this knee up just a little bit more. No, that's too much. Okay. Just gently massage your whole foot. If you're having any kind of issues with your colon or digestive system, do a little bit more focusing down in the heel area, which is great for that. And then don't forget the top of your foot, which is lungs and bronchial areas in between the ligaments of where the toes. You just press down in between those. If you've got asthma or a cough, get those lungs stimulated. And then take your hands and hold them like this. Remember when people used to do the Indian burn on your arm? You're going to do that on the foot, holding the foot, and just gently rock the top hand back and forth. We're not going to give ourselves a burn, but it's that motion. The left hand will stay still, and the right hand will just rock gently back and forth, which is giving a nice massage to the spinal cord. And I'm just going to go over it one more time, which always feels really good. And if you're finished, just take the back of your fingers and give the bottom of your foot a little bit of a slap, which brings the circulation to the foot. And then I'm going to put my foot up and give a little slap to the top of my foot. And then bring that to stillness. Let's go with our right foot now. So I'm going to bring my left foot in. Bring my right foot resting on my towel, which really makes it so much more comfortable. Remember to sit up nice and straight. And let's start on our toes. And I'm just taking my thumbs and going over each toe, giving like a little rub. It's not really the proper reflexology method, but it's easier to do than me going into great detail on how to do it. And the good thing about when you're working on the feet or the hands, just any movement is stimulating to the organs and the reflex zones. Now we're going to do the hook. So get in between your toes with your fingers and just hook it in. There's one, and I'm going to hold it and release it, and two, hold it and release it. This is, remember, stimulating the eye reflex, the ears, the sinuses, and then one more time, hold and release. Now, just give the whole bottom of the foot a little massage. I'll spend a little bit of time on my heel. We want to keep our digestion in really good order because, as the old saying goes, I don't know if you ever heard it, but death begins in the colon. So we want to make sure our digestion and our colon is functioning as it should. Just think about that. The colon digests all your food, your nutrients, and then spreads it throughout the body. So we got to keep that organ running. Most people worry about their heart or their lungs, but without the colon working properly, we're in trouble. And then the top of the foot. And just do whatever feels good on your feet. Most people neglect their feet, and then they're like, oh, I can't walk, what's wrong? Got to wear good shoes, proper support. And then we're going to take our hands again, and this time the right hand will remain still and the left hand will give just a gentle twist. And we start here holding up by the ankle bone, and then we move all the way up to the toes. Don't twist your toes. And I'm going to go back down to the ankle bone. Just the left hand is moving. The right hand is just holding the foot stable. And then there we go. We're going to do the little slap. We're using the back of our fingers because that way I know you're not going to be slapping too hard. It's just a gentle little pat, kind of. Giving our feet tender, loving love pats. And I'm going to put my foot down on the mat and give the top of the foot some tender love pats, just to stimulate it. There we go. My dog, I think, may have to go outside, but do you have to go out? I think he wants to go get in trash. Okay. Sorry. Dog rolls. Okay. Okay, we've got our feet done. Now we're going to do just a few warm-ups for our class. So we're going to take our feet and put them straight out, and we're going to do some ankle rolls. I'm the only one here, so there's no one else to let him in and out. And I let him out before we started, but I guess nature calls. And then reverse that. And I will have to let him back in here in a moment. And then point and flex, and point and flex, point, flex, point, flex. And then rotate your wrist. I'll go check on him. Rotate, and then reverse that, and then open your hands up. He's not ready. We're going to point our wrist up like we did our feet and down. I guess that's point and flex our wrist. And then let's move them side to side like windshield wipers, which we need today. It's kind of rainy here. And then spread your fingers, close them, spread, close, spread, and close. Some shoulder rolls up, down, and back. Let's do 5 of these. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I hope everyone watching today is a dog lover, because I don't really like to be interrupted when I'm streaming, but I got to take care of the pup. We're going to take our head and tip it over our right shoulder to the center, tip to the left, center, tip to the right, center, tip to the left, center. And then we're going to bring our chin down to our chest, and then look to the right, and to the left, and to the right, and to the left. One more time to the right, and to the left, and then center. Oh, that feels good. Now we're going to take our hands and we're going to give our neck and shoulders a massage. While you're doing that massage, and I'll try to do mine while I'm walking over to check on the dog. Keep going. out of that. Get up here. Cut. Come on. Get out of that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Keep massaging your neck. He tried to get in something. I caught him digging with the mud. He likes to go out and find stuff. Go lay down. And then we're going to take our fingers and put them like on a duck look. Wah, wah. And we're going to do some tapping down the outside of the arm. And back up. And then go down to the inside of the arm. And back up. And back around the shoulder. Back around the chest. Right here at where the bone starts. If you tap right there, it will help to stimulate your thymus gland, which helps with your immune system. So if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, start doing your tapping here. It's good to start it before you feel under the weather. So while you're in the shower, just do this for a moment, and it helps to keep your immune system supported. We're going to take the left hand. We're going to start in the same place around our thymus, and also helps to stimulate your thyroid in this area too. And we're going to go down the top of the arm. It's just gentle tapping. We're just bringing circulation. And then we're going to go down the bottom of our arm, or the inside. That's the arm called the top, but then when you go the other side, it's called the inside. And now I'm going to do, oh, Tarzan. Tap around my head. This is a great one if you are feeling tired, to just tap the top of your head and around, a little bit on the face. Be amazed at the energy perk you'll get from just doing a little head tapping. It'll wake you up. If you're tired and you're driving, use one hand to tap your head so you don't fall asleep at the wheel. After tapping, let's do a twist. Let's recross our legs the other direction. I'm going to put this under my bad knee. If you have bad knees, do what I'm doing, this or your blanket or whatever. So let's put our hands in Scarecrow Pose, just for the fun of it, and do a little swinging back and forth tick-tock. And then we're going to inhale, bring the hands to stillness, and exhale as we turn to the right. Exhaling. Inhale. Center. Let your hands swing again. Oh, let's swing them out this time. Lubricating those elbow joints. And we're building strength in our arms and shoulders. Inhale. Exhale to the left. Breathe normally. And we're just twisting from the torso. Keep your hips forward. You notice my legs didn't move any. Just moving the upper body. On your next exhale, return to center. And then take your arms straight out. Do a couple of airplanes. Remember the old airplanes we used to have to do in gym class? And then reverse. And then deep breath in. And exhale out. That felt really good. So I'm going to take my blocks off of the mat for right now. And we're going to get ready for our next pose, which is forward bend. I am going to sit on my blanket. The block is a little bit tall for that, but this does help my back and my knees. So inhale and exhale, folding forward. I should turn this way so you can see. I want the back to remain straight, not this. If you do this, you're taking all of the stretch out of the hamstrings. So inhale and just leaning, bending at your hip crease. That's where your leg bone meets, right there where that panty line is if you're a woman, or if you're a man and wear tighty whities. It's right there where that leg hole is. So you're just bending, it's called the hip crease. My back is straight. This way you do not put too much strain on that lower back. And we are actually just stretching our hamstrings here. Flex your feet, and that should put a little bit more pull on those hamstrings. If it's too much, then sit up a little straighter. Do not overstretch the hamstrings. You'll be sorry if you do. There's no way to, if you overstretch them, you can't bring them back to where they need to be, and then they will give you troubles. And then on your next exhale, sit up forward. And we're going to take our legs wide apart. If you're sitting on a normal sized mat, your legs should be off of the edge. Take them as wide as you feel comfortable. And that will be different for everybody. It may be more like this, and that's fine. You're still getting the stretch. So we're going to, and this is very important to listen, we're going to stretch over the right leg to the middle and to the left. When we are stretching to the side, I want you to turn your whole torso to that side. Don't just try to stretch over to the side. That will protect your lower back from injury. Here we go. We're going to go center, right, center, left. Inhale. Bring your arms straight out in front and bend straight over. Remember to keep that back straight. If you want to have a block placed in front of you, and you can place your hands on the block, whichever level you need. There's 3 levels: Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear, or if you're infant, just go on the floor. I'm going to stay here, I think, on Mama Bear. It gives me a little bit more support. I'm not overstretching through my inner thigh. We're just holding it for a few seconds. And then on your next exhale, come straight up. And then we're going to go to the right. Remember the twist. Inhale, twist to the right, and exhale, leaning over. Touch wherever you can touch. Your thigh, your knee, and look, my back is straight. I'm not hunching it. That's bad for the back. Or you can go to the ankle or the toe. I feel more comfortable right here. Gives me support, and I'm not overstretching. And on your next exhale, come up to center. We will go back to the center. Inhale. Arms straight out. Exhale as you lean forward. You should feel a great inner thigh stretch through this center pose. On your next exhale, return to center. And then we will go to the left. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale. Twist the torso. Lay over the left leg. Just like your chiffon material just floating down and resting. On your next exhale, return to center. Bring your feet forward, shake them out. And I'll do a few ankle rotations, some points, just to shake out that stretch. And then we're going to meet in a boat pose, or we're going to do a boat pose. We're going to meet on your mat, facing longwise. I'm going to roll my blanket out so it's thinner. But this, I have a bony butt, so it's good to have a little extra cushion there for boat pose. And there are 3 positions. Of course, you lean back on all of the positions. You can have your knees at 90 degrees up, or some people feel very comfortable with them up all the way. I'm going to do one at 90 degrees and one just a little rowboat. I'm not going to have a big tall ship because it's better for my back that way. So inhale, and we will hold it for just maybe 5 or 6 seconds. And exhale back, feet up. Oh, we're doing the 90 degrees. Your arms should be straight out or slightly angled up. And just hold it. And 3, 2, 1. Come down gently, slowly, and sit up. And then I'm going to take a little twist to the side and to the other side, just to keep that low back in working order, good working order. And for our second boat pose, inhale, exhale back, and go with the feet up. Your back straight. And 3, 2, 1, lower down slowly. That felt good. Then I want you to meet me on your back, laying flat on the mat. With my blanket out of the way. We're going to do a bridge pose. Bridge pose is another pose that's very good for the digestion. And for calming the mind. So we have our feet hip width apart, close to your hips, but not touching. Mine's about a hand width out. That's what, 5 inches or so maybe. We're going to have our arms laid out by our sides, palms down. Inhale the buttocks up. It's like you're leading with your pubic bone. Don't have any sag in your back. And we'll just hold bridge pose for a few seconds here. And just breathe normally while you're down here in bridge pose. Remember to keep the back from sagging. It's hard to tell because I think my shirt goes down. I don't know if you can see, but my back This is what I call by sagging. So just pull the pubic bone up closer to the ceiling, and that will take the sag out of your back there, which is we're building strength in the back. And then as you exhale, come down slowly. We'll do 2 more bridges, and if you want to just continue with this one, or you can do pose number 2, which is when we get up to the top. I'm going to inhale, exhale up, and bring my foot up. My knees are even. Don't do this. Keep your knees even. And I've got my right leg extended. This is a suspension bridge, maybe. It's suspending. And on your next exhale, lower your foot and lower your booty. And then we will do our last bridge with the left foot extended. Remember to keep the knees even. Inhale. Exhale up. And when you're ready, bring the left foot up even with the knee, or stay in both feet on the mat, supported bridge. This really, if you do it one leg at a time, you're really engaging those glutes and your hamstrings and your calf muscle, more so than if you're using both legs to balance. It's also good for your balance too. And exhale, on your next exhale, lower the left foot down and lower your booty. Our next pose is pelvic tilts. And to do a pelvic tilt, we're going to just try to bring our pelvis up, kind of like it's pointing towards our head, which should then press the low back into the mat. I want you to really feel that low back pressing. So here we go. Inhale, exhale, and tilt. And we're going to hold it for, let's hold it for 30 seconds. This helps to build that strength on the low back, and it also is working your abdominal area, your abs, because you're holding it tight, I hope. And anytime that you're doing any kind of exercise on the mat, your low back should be pressed into the mat. So we're building a muscle memory for keeping the low back in there, because that will protect the low back from injury. And 3, 2, 1, release. That always feels so good. It also helps to relieve low back tension by doing some pelvic tilts. And inhale, exhale, pelvic tilt. It's like you're trying to bring your pubic bone up to your head. And the low back is pressing, really pressing into the mat. I've got my legs slightly engaged so that I'm engaging my glutes, my hamstrings, my calves. Let's press our toes into the mat too as we're doing this. And then we're strengthening our feet muscles. And 3, 2, 1, release. That feels so good. Let's do one more pelvic tilt. Inhale. Exhale as you tilt your pelvis forward. We're not moving anything but our pelvis. My feet are staying the same. I'm going to press my toes into the mat. I'm going to tighten my calves, my hamstrings, my glutes, and my abs, of course, are being tightened by just doing the pelvic tilt, but I'm going to put a little bit more effort, really bring those abs in nice and tight, trying to strengthen my abs and my low back muscles. for support. And 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's we're going to do a piriformis stretch. So we're going to keep the left knee up and bent. We're going to take our right foot, point the toes upward so that our heel is just slightly resting on the mat. And we're going to stretch it out very slowly. And really try to, like you're going to try to press that foot into the wall, keeping the foot flexed. And then release. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale the left leg down with the foot pointing up, flexed, and just slowly gliding the left heel along the mat. I really press it so that you really feel that leg extending. And inhale and exhale the left foot back up to meet the right foot. We're going to do fish pose next. So this is the one I was talking about. You can use a bolster if you want for a supported fish pose. So I'm going to show you a couple of setups. And then I would take my blanket and put it at the top of my bolster. This is what works for me. It may not work for you for this type of fish pose. And you're sitting up straight. Your bolster is coming in to touch your low back. And then you just lean backwards and rest on your bolster. Your arms are palm up, just gently laying at your side. This is called supported fish pose, and it's also a restorative pose. So if you're feeling that you need to have your chest cavity opened, maybe you have a lot of tension in the upper part of your back, you could lay in this position for 3 to 10 minutes, and that would gently open the chest, which is a great way to open up the intercostal muscles. Or if you don't want to do supported fish pose, we're not going to hold the pose for 10 minutes today because that's a restorative. You can just lay a blanket back here, which gives a little bit of padding for your hands. This is how I'm going to do it today. And then you just tilt back. If that's too much for your neck, you could take a block to give a little bit of support to your head, because maybe your neck muscles are not quite strong enough to take this, or perhaps you've had a neck injury that hurts it. The thing about doing it this way is you have to remember to really press up with your elbows so that you're just resting your neck for support and not supporting the pose with your head, because that could injure your neck. Okay, so find your pose, your best fish pose that you want to try today. And we're going to just hold fish pose for maybe 10 seconds, and we'll do it 2 times. So inhale and exhale back. And you'll find the more that you do this, the stronger that your neck will become, the stronger your arms, because you're doing a lot of support on your arms there. And this also will help counterbalance sitting at a desk for a long period or driving. because it's the opposite of sitting over and hovering over a desk, or maybe you're a hairdresser or dentist. It opens the back up the opposite direction and adds balance. And then on your next exhale, just let your arms slide out and lay flat. We'll take a little break, bringing the arms overhead. The feet are pointed and stretch, full body stretch. And then flex your feet and your hands and full body stretch. And then relax. Bring the hands, sweep the hands back around. Get your elbows and moved up to support yourself. Like if you're raising up out of the bed, you're like, what's down there at the front of the bed? So you've got your upper torso supported with your elbows and your arms. And inhale. Exhale as you tilt the head back and really pressing up through the chest, like you're trying to make your breastbone hit the ceiling. And then holding your head, which is building some strength in that neck muscle. Don't let your head flop back. That's why I said if you need to rest it on something, to do that. If this is too much, oh, I forgot to add the other thing. You could just do a slight back bend in a sitting position. That will help if you have neck trouble. And 3, 2, 1. I should have demonstrated that. I apologize. I got ahead of myself. If that's too much for your neck, you can just sit and just lean back this way. For those with neck injuries, or just trying, if you have anything going on with the neck, don't do it if it hurts. That's my motto. If it hurts, don't do it, and try another alternative pose. After fish pose, since I had to stop and explain about the other pose, which is too late now, let's go ahead and do another full body stretch. Inhale, the arms up. And exhale, stretch. And then relax. We're going to do opposite hand, opposite foot to the wall. Inhale. Exhale, right arm, left foot. On your next exhale, return to center. Inhale. Exhale, left arm, right foot. And when we're here, just breathe as you're stretching. On your next exhale, return to center. We're going to roll over onto our bellies. I'm going to be in a prone position here. That felt so good. Don't you feel like you can breathe deeper now that we've opened that chest up? That's another good reason for fish pose, or any kind of a small back bend where we're trying to, like I'm trying to bring my breastbone up to the ceiling. You don't have to get into fish pose to get the benefit of opening your intercostals, expanding your lung capacity, and opening the whole chest area. It's really beneficial to the body, and it is another pose to help relieve anxiousness or stress. Let's do, oh, I forgot 2 poses. And we have time for it. So let's go back over onto our belly. And I packed my strap up. I don't think I have one in here. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I do. I was teaching for Parks and Recreation, and I packed up some of my stuff. So if you have a strap, get it out. We're going to do Happy Baby. I don't like to do it with the strap. And we're going to make a loop in our strap. We're going to put our feet. I think I want mine a little bit wider. I was probably doing a different pose for that one. Okay, that's good. Make sure that you have the buckle, not where it's going to interfere or be in the middle. Because we're going to grab the middle with both hands, and you don't want to be holding the buckle. That's kind of uncomfortable. I think I will go a little bit wider even. I'm pretty flexible. If you're not flexible, then keep yours. Oh, that's much better. So we're going to got our feet in their strap. We're going to inhale, grab our strap, and exhale as we pull the feet into Happy Baby. The reason why I like to use the strap for Happy Baby is it keeps my head on the mat and my shoulders, so I'm not pulling up to hold my feet, because that defeats Happy Baby here. And then it also makes it easier because we're going to roll to the right side, and then we're going to roll to the left. There we go. We're a Happy Baby rolling back and forth. And at some point, a Happy Baby would put those toes in their mouth. I'm not going to attempt that. If you want to, go for it. I don't think I'm flexible enough for it, and I don't know that I want my toe in my mouth. I did just take a shower, so I guess it'd be okay, but I'm not really into Happy Baby toe sucking. And one more to the left. And this is we're just relaxing that low back. We've done a lot of low back stuff. And now we're going to take, and we've done some upper back. So rolling this way helps to kind of, I guess, unruffle our feathers in the back area. So let's take one hand, the right hand, we're going to grab the strap in the middle, and we're going to lower the left foot. And now we just have the left leg up. And then we're going to take the right hand and lower the left foot and raise the right foot up. This is a great gentle hamstring stretch if you're doing it correctly. And then we're going to go back and forth. So remember to switch hands. I'm switching to my right hand and my left hand. My right foot's up. The leg that is down is the hand that's holding the strap. So I'm going to grab with the right hand and lower the right foot and raise the left. You should feel a nice, gentle through the inner thigh. And then I'm going to bring them both back up. Take my strap off and lower the feet. Now we're going to roll over. I didn't want to miss Happy Baby. It's such a good pose on so many levels. And our hands are, our elbows are under our shoulders. Our hands are laid straight out in Sphinx pose. And we're just going to take a deep breath and let it out. If this bothers your hips, maybe you're super skinny or just have other issues, you can always put a blanket underneath your hip area and maybe up to a little like your lower rib. If you're on a hard floor, maybe you should do that. I'm on a soft mat and a carpet, so I don't put anything underneath me here. We're just holding this pose for a few minutes. This is helpful for building upper body strength or upper back strength muscles to keep our spine nice and straight. And we're going to take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to lay our arms in a T pose with one hand on top of the other. And as we exhale, we will lower our head down so our forehead comes on top of our hands. If you need to make an adjustment to get the forehead on top of the hands, please do so. We're just going to stay here for a few seconds in Crocodile Pose, which is very calming for the mind. Just breathe normally. On your next exhale, we're going to bring the hands down even with our breastbone and push up into a baby cobra. And you notice I am pushing no further than I can stay lifted, just using my back muscles. This is just here for support. These are all great exercises for the digestive system. It's giving a gentle massage for the whole abdominal cavity. And we're not overstretching. If you want to just take your hands off and do your baby cobra that way, that's the safest way. I'm just going to put my fingertips down now for a little support. And on your next exhale, we're going to go back to that crocodile pose with opposite hand on top. I hope you remembered. I forgot to mention to remember where you were at and just lay there for a few seconds. On your next exhale, raise the head, sweep the arms back into moving locust, raising the feet off of the mat and placing your hands on your buttocks or the small of your back, whichever is most comfortable. And just breathe. On your next exhale, lower your feet. Bring your arms back around straight ahead. And we're going to do bird dog. So we're going to bring the right hand up and the left foot up and stretch. Similar to what we did when we were laying on our back. And lower the right and left foot. Raise the right hand. Raise the right foot. Lower the left hand, lower the right foot, lower the head. Inhale. Exhale, raise both feet. Superman pose. A few rounds of breath. On your next exhale, lower your feet and hands and your head. We're going to roll back over onto our back. We're going to do a crescent pose. Let me move this blankets in case you can't see well. So for crescent or banana asana, banana pose, asana means pose. We're going to lay straight out, hands overhead. Bring your feet up so your knees are pointing to the ceiling. Gently lift your lower back and move it to the right just 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Lower the legs back down. And we're going to inhale and exhale the right foot to the right. The left foot follows, and if you can cross it over and anchor, you can do that. And then move the torso to the right. And then just hold it. The reason why we move the hips over a little bit is because it does help to take some of the strain off of the back. And it helps you to be able to keep your hips down on the mat instead of bucking one up, which puts a torque in the low back, which is not good. And crescent pose is a pose if you have low back lumbar issues, is an excellent pose for that, or sciatica. And it just feels good, and it's good for a good side stretch. On your next exhale, bring the torso back to center, release your feet, bring your knees up to the ceiling, and bring the hips back to the center. And take a breath here. Bring the feet up to the mat, knees up to the ceiling. Raise the buttocks. Take them to the left about 1 inch or 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Lower the feet down. Bring the left leg to the left. Right leg crosses over. Torso to the left into our left banana asana. And you can see from this side, my hips are on the mat. If they're raised up, you're getting too much of a torque in that low back. Only go as far as you can, and you may not be able to cross the right leg over, and you can just keep it to the side. Remember, yoga is always a personal practice. I give you the instructions, but it's up to you to know where your body should stop in the stretch. Some people stretch a lot further, some people do not. With practice, you can get your stretching loosened up, but it takes time and patience. And always remember tenderness with all of your practices, even if it's not called tenderness yoga class. Be very gentle with the way that you stretch and move your body so that you will keep it in shape for future movements. And on your next exhale, release your feet, bring it to center, bring your torso to center, realign your hips, and get ready for Shavasana. So if you have an eye mask, it's a good time to get that out. And I will meet you back here in about 8 minutes. We'll do a little 8-minute Shavasana. And then we're going to do a breathing exercise before we come out of it. So I will ding this. So I don't want you to jump up when I do that. I want you to listen to the instructions for our breathing exercise before we come out of Shavasana. I like to put a bolster under my knees. You can use your blocks, blanket, but I suggest you use something under your knees. And then I like to cover out in Shavasana because I always get cold. I'm going to set my timer. Just start relaxing, closing your eyes. If you don't have an eye mask, trying to block out all of your list that you think you're going to have to get accomplished today. Give yourself some time here to just enjoy a mindful, restful session. And I will do the same. Don't open your eyes yet. And keep them closed. We're going to do a round of alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to sit up so I can talk you through it, but I want you to stay laid down, nice and comfy in your Shavasana pose. You're going to take your index finger and place it on the bridge of your nose so that your thumb can rest on the right nostril and your pointer finger can rest on the left nostril as needed. We're going to breathe in the right nostril and close the left nostril. So close the left nostril, breathe in the right nostril. Close the right nostril, breathe out the left. Breathe in the left, close, breathe out the right. Breathe in the right, close, breathe out the left. Breathe in the left, close, breathe out the right. Breathe in the left, close, breathe out the left. Breathe in the left, close, breathe out the right. Breathe in the right, close, breathe out the left. Breathe in the left, and then remove your hands from your nose and just breathe normally. When you are ready, I want you to turn over onto your right side and get in a fetal-like position so your knees are bent. And just lay there for a moment, just thinking about the class and the areas of your body that felt tight and how do they feel now. They should feel looser. Think about how that your chest opening poses made your lungs open up in your chest so that you should be able to breathe deeper. And that calmness that you're gaining from doing some yoga poses with me today, and the alternate nostril breathing, which is another great breathing exercise for reducing anxiety and relaxing your body and mind. So when you're ready, go ahead and press your body up with your left hand, bringing your head up last. I'm going to come sit up here for our final closing and little information about tenderness. Tenderness is take actions that reflect the wisdom of your heart. Give generously and freely and treat yourself and others with kindness and caring. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. And I will close with my Heart Talk book. And where will I open today? Big letters. This is important. You are in bloom. Did you know that? You are in bloom your whole life. Did you know that too? And that's kind of an interesting thought. Sometimes we think we're only in bloom when we're young, but we're in bloom our whole life. That's awesome. I'm a beautiful flower even in my older age. That's really cool. Let's rub our hands together. Think about being kind and tender, not only to ourselves, but to others today as we go through. Bring that to heart center. And I bow in honor of the light in you and ask that you bow in honor and the light in others as well as yourself. Namaste. Ta-ta for now, and I will see you next week. Have a great day. Oh, and have a happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm having enchiladas.